Hi, I'm Tim Ferguson. I'm the executive pastor here at Trinity Church. We want to take today a few moments to answer some of your questions you might have regarding Trinity Christian School and its change that we're about to make to Texas Leadership Public Schools. To my right, your left, is Mark Hennessy. He is our school administrator. And then to my left is our secondary principal, James Swearingen. And so they'll be answering a couple of questions. But the first thing I wanted to do is I want to just answer the question is, why is this change occurring from Trinity Christian School to coming under the covering of a charter school? As we've discussed over the past few years in our elders and many times at our business meeting in front of our church, the viability of a tuition-based education here in our area has become very difficult. We've struggled financially. We've struggled to be able to make ends meet with the bills, and we've done an amazing job over the past decade in the midst of a changing economy and the demographics and the situation of our community, still providing opportunities for private Christian education. And so we began to search a couple of years ago, and it looked like we might not be able to do that. Looking, should we get our own charter? Should we come under another charter? And we did a various number of studies for about 2 years looking at all the possibilities of that. To get your own charter, a couple $100,000 up front in money and 2 to 3 year process, and you might not even get the charter. And so as a result, we began looking for other charter organizations where we could come under them and they could lease the facility for us. But it was our hope that we could maintain some of the history, the culture, and the missional purpose that we have had for our Trinity Christian School. And so that's why we began to do this, and that's why we began to search. And we believe that we have found really a partnership here. And so Mark, I want to ask you a question today. How did we arrive at partnering with Texas Leadership Public Schools as part of our vision going forward?
Well, as you mentioned, for several years now, we've been looking at opportunities to carry our purpose forward, to change kids' lives, to help them become everything that God wants them to be. And we came in touch with Texas Leadership, and from the very first conversation, we just felt a real kinship in purpose, and we were so impressed by really their missional attitude, the fact that they weren't about funds, they weren't about making money, they were about changing kids' lives, and that's exactly what we were about. And so then we took a trip to San Angelo, where they're based, and met, and again, we were just so impressed by the leadership of the charter and their commitment to changing kids' lives. And so from that very first meeting, we just felt a real kinship.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't know, some of you know, I taught in the school for 13 years and have coached for over 30 years in the school. And so I have a question, that many people may have, what parts or any of our existing culture and our traditions do we get to keep going forward as a part of coming under, Texas Leadership Public Schools?
Well, that was actually one of the reasons that we felt the kinship is, as the leadership of Texas Leadership Public Schools from the very beginning said the most important thing for them, if we chose to come under, was to keep our culture, to preserve our heritage.
Can you give a couple exampable of that?
Oh, for instance, we're going to keep the name Trinity in our name.
Really? Wow, that's awesome.
School colors, school mascot. We get to celebrate our history. Our ring of honor in the gym is going to stay up. All of our plaques where we've honored our TCS students through the years will be there. They insist that we keep our teachers as much as possible so that they can continue the culture and continue touching kids' lives like they have been.
Wow, speaking of our teachers, James, how will this benefit our teachers? I mean, I taught for a long time and I got not very much dollars for doing that, not many. So what's it like now going forward as a part of this for our teachers?
That's going to be one of the biggest things, is the salary increase, so that we're a lot more competitive with the districts that are around us. Keeping these highly qualified teachers is really hard these days with lower salaries. So getting under this umbrella, we're going to really be able to compensate our teachers like they really deserve.
I mean, I know what our starting point is for our teachers right now at Trinity Christian School. It's in the mid-20s, and it's a significant, close to almost a $20,000 pay raise for a beginning teacher. And it's not all about the money, but it certainly makes it a livable impact there. So another question about that, James, how's this going to affect our facilities and our resources?
Just being able to get some state funding is going to drastically drastically impact the resources that we have available as far as classes that we're teaching with CTE programs that are going to be
What's
available.
CT? I have no idea what that means.
So career and technology.
Okay, I got it. So what do you mean by career and technology? Do you mean like trade schools or something of that nature?
Exactly. So for those students who aren't necessarily wanting to go to college, we want to be able to give them the opportunity to advance their careers and their lives in an avenue that best fits them. So being able to come underneath this umbrella is really going to help to be able to open those opportunities for them.
And I did think I heard about special education. Is there something relating to that?
Yes, we're going to actually be able to get a really nice special education program together, have some diagnosticians that will be able to come to our school so that any of those students who are really struggling, where we were able to help them limited before, we're going to really have a lot of things available for them now.
Now, I know one of the things that was one of our main concerns in talking with the elders and the leadership of the school and the church going forward was, what's the size of the school going to be if we become a public school? Is it all about getting the amount of money coming in per student? One of the actual places we went under a charter school, we actually got up and decided it wasn't for us because their desire was to have so many students on our campus, it just didn't fit. So tell me, Mark, about the size of the school as a whole and about some of the class size structure going forward.
Well, in the first years with the new charter program, our upper school will not expand much at all. It'll be pretty much the same size it has been. What our goal is to expand from kindergarten up so that the kids that come in who are new to our school adapt to the culture, and so that we have time to really make sure that they understand who we are at Trinity and what our expectations are.
Wow. Now, do you see any additional benefits of this change that we haven't already discussed in these first few minutes?
There are several benefits. Our facilities, we'll be able to upgrade our facilities.
How long has it been since we've upgraded a part of our facilities?
I've been here a long time, and I don't know how many years, but it's been a long time since we've upgraded.
Our track has really ceased to be, really can't be used as an effective track.
Right.
Our football field really, to compete at the level where we're playing, needs to go to artificial turf, and not to mention our baseball, field that lacks serious things. So there's and we're not getting into the classrooms
right.
and the painting of the walls, things we just haven't had the money to do, just so we can make budget eat. So anything else, additional benefits you can think of?
Well, as James said, the programs that we're going to be able to expand to, and especially he didn't mention, but we're going to greatly expand our dual credit program for the students who are more advanced in their academics. So we're just going to be able to offer a wider range so that we meet all the students' needs.
Now, there is a little bit of a mourning for me. In the sense that, all of my kids went here for 15 years from K through all, they graduated Trinity Christian School. And one of the main reasons we did that was, what I considered the pastoral, the ministry, how does that look going forward, James? We used to have mandatory Bible classes, we had chapels, we had mission trips. Is there a way that we can be an effective, educational school, still carry some of the character values and yet be a public school in a modern environment?
Oh, definitely. So that's one of the great things about joining this charter school is that we're going to be able to have Bible as an elective.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So it's not going to completely disappear at all. And then the chapel aspect, we can have student-led assemblies. So teachers are already starting to cultivate clubs this year with the students so that as we go into next year, they're already established and we can still have an semblance of chapel as we go
and
forward.
Mark, I've heard from our pastoral staff that they're planning on, because the church is maintaining the before and after school care, the church is planning some clubs and some activity. You have any idea on what that looks like?
Right. Well, as you said, the church is going to be doing not only before and after care, but the preschool as well, where they'll be able to teach Bible classes and to the preschoolers. All of the pastors have just made a renewed commitment to reach out to the kids. They can come on the campus during lunchtime. They can develop student leadership for student-led things. We can have all kinds of clubs that are just basically opportunities to disciple kids outside of the school hours. And so we're real excited about that new partnership with Trinity Church.
Wow, man. Are there any negative? Obviously the spiritual aspect going forward is a challenge. We have to become, a different look, a different way to educate our students and all the things that we value. So is other negatives that I'm not thinking of that maybe some parents might be having or people having or alumni have a question to not be asking?
Yeah, some of the potential negatives that we've heard about are, first of all, since we'll be a public school, it'll be open enrollment. How do we maintain our current values? How do we maintain our current culture? And we're going to do that through our admission program, because we get it's written into the charter that we have the ability to not admit any student who has discipline problems at another school. We'll still have interviews with all new students, so we'll be able to maintain some hold on who comes to the school and who doesn't.
But we'll
come
still
to the
be
school.
able to be a part of impacting our community, and everyone around us
Absolutely.
will have the equal opportunity to be able to be a partner with Trinity. I think right now they're discussing several names that it looks like, but believe it, we're keeping the name TCS. We're looking at the ways to be able to keep the name, but not the Christian part name, but something else there. So any other negatives there?
Well, as you mentioned, chapel, we won't be able to have chapel and mandatory Bible classes, but again, the partnership with the church, we're going to be able to reach those kids through that. And our teachers are committed to being really intentional about ministry to the kids. Before and after school, we'll have all kinds of opportunities. So we're excited about that. We're also excited because we feel like it'll expand our ability to reach out to the city of Cedar Hill and DeSoto in this area.
Yeah, that is so true. And I just think one of the things Mark said earlier, and even James referred to about the salaries, is the fact that our teachers and our administrative team, if they choose, and we believe most of them are choosing right now, they become just moving forward. And so there really is almost no change initially in the structure and the makeup of what Trinity has been in the past. So that's exciting about that, because it gives us what we believe is a way going forward where the school would not have to just shut its doors and close, and we would lose everything that we've gained over the last 40 years for Trinity Christian School. So James, just one final thing. Here's another question that parents have. Can you guarantee admittance for my child, my son, my daughter, into the new Trinity look of the public school?
And the answer to that is no, we cannot, because it is open enrollment.
So you can't guarantee it?
I cannot.
Right, it's open enrollment.
So whenever our open enrollment starts April 5th at 12 a.m. So everybody is going to be invited to, whoever wants to join us as we move forward, to get in online and sign up so that they can be part of it. But if they don't get in time and the seats are filled, then we aren't able to.
Now what that means is you stay up late on April 4th, and at midnight you get on and you enroll all the way from K-5 all the way through 12th grade. And so it's important that you do that. Again, April 4th, stay up to midnight, enroll. Those of you who procrastinate, maybe some people that I know well, if you wait a week or 2 weeks, it might not be available for you. But we feel very confident that if you do that at the beginning stages, you will have almost every advantage in getting your son, daughter into the school. And so, Mark, one final question for you. What do you see, just as a whole, the future for Trinity and the school and the educational aspect that we've had here?
I tell you, I am so excited about the future with Trinity. We feel like we're going to have an opportunity to reach people we haven't been reaching before. Almost every week we get a phone call at the school with someone who wants a good educational environment for their kids, who wants teachers who care and love them. And they just can't afford the tuition. The great thing going forward is that we'll be able to say to those people, yeah, come on, bring your kid. We'd love to minister to them. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the impact we're going to have on the community. I'm excited about the ability for our teachers to get a decent pay. I'm just excited about the future. It's going to be great.
And I can honestly say to me, I struggled with this for a couple of years. It's been hard for me. Trinity Christian School has been everything to me. It really got me my foundation into career and working. But I do believe that this is a divine moment going forward that allows the school to continue at its excellence that it's been in sending out students into our nation and making an impact. And I think we'll continue to do that. James, you got the final word before I close this. So what do you see us going forward?
I'm just excited for this opportunity. It's just broadening the opportunity I had to just reach our community, because it's no longer going to be just Cedar Hill, but Duncanville, DeSoto, Midlothian. Anybody who wants the opportunity to come be a part of what we're doing here, they're going to have that opportunity. And I'm excited to be able to move forward with our teachers who really have a heart to just pour into these students, and they're excited to be able to have this opportunity in a new format.
Wow. And I know we probably didn't get to answer every question today, but we did the best that we could. So if you have any further questions, you can email me at tferguson@trinitychurch.org, and then I'll get those questions. Either I'll answer them or I'll get them to one of these two guys or our elementary principal, and we'll do our best to call you back and personally talk to you and to see how we can help you in any way. So the Lord bless you guys. We look forward to the future. Pray for us as God gives us wisdom as we move forward, and you have a great day.